So now we've got our last speaker. Leongatha Rotary Club have been working on a global grant for a little while now. I first heard about the grant probably 12, 18 months ago, and it's been working through and they've been successful in getting the grant up. So I'm not going to steal any of Paul's thunder about the grant. But it is one that I'd like you all to have a listen to and, see, use this as an idea for yourselves to try and look at how you can get involved at a local level with your cluster or something and create another global grant for another project coming into the near future. So thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Mark. Now, can you hear me and see anything on your screen?
Absolutely fantastic.
Wonderful. That's a good start, I reckon. Yeah. Look, thanks for the opportunity to showcase our application for a global grant. This is all new to our club. I think this is the first time we've actually ever applied for a global grant. But the project we're seeking funds for is for the fit out of a community centre and building an ablution block in a little community called Sukoluri in Ailu in Timor-Leste. Now, if we can get the next one up, that would be even better. There we go. So just for those that aren't familiar that much with Timor-Leste, Ailu is a community that's halfway between the two coasts, about I think it was about a 2-hour drive from Dili on a very rough road. The Leongatha Rotary Club applied for the global grant in June this year. To date, we don't know a lot about it. The status is qualified. We keep checking the website on a regular basis, and the last activity by Foundation was the 9th of, or Friday, just gone on the 9th. So we're a little bit in the dark. I've actually emailed them to try and find out a little bit more as to where we are on that, on the grant. Now, just to give you an idea of the project overview, we propose to fit out a proposed community centre and the construction of an ablution amenities block in Sukoluri. The community centre building is to be constructed by the Leongatha Rotary Club. And the building is approximately 27 metres by 12 metres, and it will contain a kitchen, food storage room, dining and activities room. The construction of the ablutions block will be an additional building to house toilets, washing facilities and a laundry area. But it will also include water harvesting and filtration. The construction is mainly to be undertaken by Rotary volunteer crews with the assistance of local community members. Now, the global grant objective is to actually fit out the community building, providing full kitchen facilities. We hope that we'll be able to provide about 200 meals a day at the centre, and that's at the centre and within the community and surrounding area. And then, of course, construct an ablutions block to provide access to clean working toilets, washing and laundry facilities. And finally, provide clean, abundant water and storage of the same. Just some statistics for those that aren't that familiar with Timor-Leste. A lot of you probably are, but 40% of the population live below the poverty line. 57.7% of the children under 5 are stunted due to poor diet, and 61.4% of the children under 5 suffer from anemia. 41.3% of women of reproductive age also suffer from anemia, and the maternal morbidity is the highest rate in the region. So they're pretty sobering statistics. The project focus is to provide better nutrition, disease prevention, improve water quality and better sanitation and hygiene, and overall improve the community's health. The location is a government housing project, and they call it the Blue Houses. Sukoluri is a poor area, and the housing project is for the disadvantaged, the at-risk, vulnerable, elderly, and the homeless. And we decided on this location because we have a contact, and Her name is Lourdes D'Arugio. She's a former Carmelite sister who's currently providing meals in Sukoliri in very, very basic conditions. Lourdes has local knowledge and experience. She's operated a community kitchen, which was built by Rotary actually in Mombisi for some time until it was actually closed down by the Carmelite order. And she's devoted her life to improving the lives of her fellow East Timorese. But this community also is a large community, obviously, with special needs, and there's a large population of young children, hence going back to those statistics earlier. This is to give you a bit of an idea of what we're looking at. This is the government project. There's about 77 houses. There's no running water, no kitchen facilities. Most have a toilet, but they don't work properly. And there's no washing facilities. This is just a couple of other shots of the hence of the area, and hence the blue houses because of their obvious colour. This is just a close-up of one of the houses. Very basic, as I said, no running water or kitchen facilities, and has an open drain at the front of the house. As you can see there between the two children there, and that's where when the sewer's overflowing, it just flows into open drains. And this is just a couple of shots inside the house, obviously very basic. And this is Lourdes D'Arugio. And she's been a contact of our Rotary Club for a little while now, and she's been over to visit us, and some of you might have actually had the occasion to meet her. She came over and she's been hosted by one of our families here, and we've got to know her, and she's put up a pretty good case for what we're wanting to do. So as I said, she's a former Carmelite sister. She provides meals at the moment for the elderly, vulnerable, etc. in that community, and the food's prepared in very basic conditions, and I'll show you some slides shortly. Meals are provided on site, and she also provides meals on wheels, and that's where they deliver food to the neighbouring elderly. Obviously no vehicles, so they carry them by foot. And she's got numerous connections throughout Timor-Leste. Now the kitchens, there's an earthen floor, there's no running water, unhygienic preparation of food, there's sanitation issues, it's a very dangerous environment, and the cooking is performed on an open earthen floor, hence the kitchen. So as you can see, it's a pretty rough setup. But it's amazing the amount of meals that they do put out at the moment. And there's just a couple of shots of the kitchen, and there's just some of the people waiting outside the kitchen for their meals. So providing a kitchen's one thing. The other is to provide or build an ablutions block with toilets, washing facilities, and laundry facilities. There's an installation of a couple of sky hydrants for water harvesting and filtration to ensure sufficient clean water to be harvested and stored in the community. The current situation is there's open drains, limited access to working toilets, limited washing facilities, poor hygiene practices, and the existing water is spring fed and it's fouled by domestic animals and wild animals. And obviously gastroenteric diseases are rife within the community. There's your open drains. That's the toilet at the back of or next door to the kitchen, which is not used because it doesn't work properly, and the people they have to walk right over the other side of the complex to use toilets. Suitable, well, we don't think they're suitable, but suitable toilets. Yeah. Now the goals are to provide access to adequate cooking facilities to safely and hygienically provide approximately 200 meals a day. We want people to have access to working toilets and laundry and washing facilities. And through the fit out of the community centre, the provision of nutritious meals, and that's the main thing, nutritious meals in a hygienic environments. and have supporting programs that enhance the community awareness of the benefits of improved nutrition and hygiene. It's one thing to supply food and provide the facilities. The other is to actually to give them awareness of the benefits of doing proper nutrition and hygiene. And through good water practices, provide clean and potable water supply for the community to improve their existing water supply. And it's installation of a site-suitable working septic system. And I say working because they have septic systems there at the moment, but they don't work, and there's no backup. And then the main goal, obviously, is to improve the overall health of the community. So the benefits identified is improved health of at-risk persons through the distribution of nutritional food from the community kitchen, increased support of at-risk people in the community by the involvement of the community members in the operation of the kitchen, dining and laundry facilities, improved hygiene practices from the effective cleaning of clothes and laundering at the facility, and of course access to clean, safe water. And these are the benefits aligned with the Rotary Foundation's area of focus policy statements, in particular water sanitation, maternal and child health care, and community development. So in July 2019, myself and another Rotarian, we scoped out the project on site in ALU. We had numerous meetings with all levels of government. We met with the National Minister of Social Solidarity, the President of the CNRT Party, community meetings with the local chefs who are the administrators. We had on-site meetings with local and divisional solidarity members, on-site meetings with community elders. We had community meetings on site with all the above, and we had overwhelming support for the project. We had a commitment by the Minister. She's given us a written commitment to provide ongoing financial support for the operational expenses, which is a bonus. It means that once this is up and running, we'll at least have, well, hopefully the commitment will still be there, and at least we'll have access to being able to continue with and cover our costs. So these are just a couple of slides of the meetings. This is the National Minister of Social Solidarity, and there's myself and Lindsay Murphy. We were the two that went on site to do the inspection and scope the project. That was, we presented a banner to the President of the CNR Party, and this was the community meetings with the local chefs and dignitaries. Just meeting with some of the elders. So the global grant and the project, I suppose the summary is that the global grant will fit out the community centre. The centre will be built by the Leongatha Rotary Club, locals and volunteers from other clubs. Most building materials will be purchased in Timor-Leste, and obviously that's a benefit for their community. Donations in kind have been received for most of the kitchen appliances, and there's a container of goods being organised to be sent once our conditions are favourable. COVID has stopped everything, hasn't it? Gippsland Rotary Clubs have been very generous in their support and monetary donations. Timor Roofing Company has been very generous in donations in kind for building materials. We've also applied for a DFAT grant and to assist with the building of the community centre. But like everything, that's been put on hold at the moment until such time as we're through this COVID situation. So we're a little bit unsure as to what will happen with that. But the project is fully funded. If that grant comes through, it's fully funded, and the total cost of the project is about $141,000 US. Our grant application is for $36,500, and the balance of the funds obviously through DFAT, Leongatha Rotary Club, the Rotary Cluster and other districts. Plus we've had cash donations as well, which has been, people have been very generous. This is just the floor plan of the community centre. It's a concept plan. Once again, this chap that did these plans has donated his time. People have been very generous when we explain the situation. The following photos are just of the situation around Suko Leary. These are people who are receiving some meals on heels. I'll mention that word again. Very basic conditions. This is the lady's living area, and that's her bed in the bottom right-hand photo. Her bed's in the far corner. This little lady receives meals on heels. She's been bedridden for years. She's got a chronic back problem. This is one of the little humpies that one of the ladies that lives in. And there she is there. We went looking for her to do a welfare check and unable to find her, and we located her. Eventually she'd been out begging for food. She was hydrated, the bottom right-hand photo, given some food, and we took her back to her dwelling. And that's just a couple of other recipients of Meals on Heels. So thanks for listening. And if you would like further information or would like to make a donation or donations in kind of some description, or even come over when we can and help us with the construction. There's 4 people there that you could contact, and we'd love to hear from you. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Paul. And it really does highlight you. Rotarians see a need, they consult with the people, and that I think is really important. Consult with the people to find out what they need, find a solution, and then look at implementing that solution. And that, guys, is something that one of the Rotary clubs in our district has gone and done. Applied for a global grant with the assist of the foundation team. That's what they're there for. So I encourage each and every one of us to go out and find a similar sort of project or something. Use all of the tools and the resources that you have available, and let's really change people's lives. Because how many areas of focus, like, yeah, the global grant was targeted at about 3 different areas, but really it's going to affect every area of focus that Rotary has. So that to me is an amazing homegrown project, a homegrown global grant. Get in contact with Paul or the team. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you, talk at your club about it, or even just help you, guide you through the process and some of the hurdles that they've had to overcome along the way. Global grants is a fantastic opportunity for people to really be involved in the bigger Rotary machine.